Health Champions, it's the last episode in our 5-part series webinar where we talk about taking control, navigating obesity treatment, and advocating for the care you deserve, or your family member deserves, the community deserves. So thank you so much if you've followed me from day 1, 2, 3, 4, and now 5. I truly appreciate it. We are healthier together. If you've shared with others, very good. Thank you. Thank you. So today we are going to be talking about a strategic lifestyle integrated plan to maximize results safely and sustainably, because that's what we want. I recall when I was in the yo-yo diet, when I was on my wellness journey, trying to reverse chronic disease, insomnia. It was a hot mess. Emotional eater. I would eat healthy, but then I was a sweet tooth as well. So I struggled with that, gain weight, find a fat diet, lose it, gain it back. We want something sustainable, right? And there's so many options. Definitely, I honed on my lifestyle pillars, but then I take advantage of Prolong, which I've shared, the other treatment options, several of them. Definitely lifestyle is always the foundation, but some people might need to take injections, weight loss medication. And as a family medicine doctor who is boarded in obesity medicine, I help my patients to achieve this in a safe and sustainable way. So today we're going to talk about how you can maximize your results, right? Whether you're using lifestyle alone, which again, depending on how intense you are, you could get more results. Okay, so I want you to know that your body is not simple. This whole body is not simple. It is based on multiple things: genetics, our hormones, our learned behavior. My brain was just wired for sugar, wired for sugar, and it made it work with the foods, not making it so palatable, and with stress. So I had to learn skills power over willpower, right? So that's why we say this whole body is not simple. It's complex, right? It has a lot of internal feedback system. And so medication is a tool. It's just one of the toolbox to help, but lifestyle is always the foundation. So today we're going to talk about just real life practical, successful strategies. And then we'll talk about how we can put everything together. We go beyond just the theory. We're going to go into applying it because I'm very practical, very, very practical. So there are a few components I'm going to look at. First one is certainly nutrition. Okay, nutrition is key. Whether you're on a GLP-1 or not, and we don't want to make this complicated because it can get complicated really fast when it comes to nutrition. Keto, Mediterranean diet, paleo, all the diets that are out there, the important thing is fiber-rich foods. The more fiber-rich foods you eat, the better. Even when you're on a GLP-1, all right, you want to eat more fiber because it's nutrient dense, because the gut listens to that, because the brain listens to that. It's anti-inflammatory. It keeps us full longer. So fiber, fiber, fiber. Plant. When people ask what's fiber, it's just plant foods that are as natural as it's from its origin of state. So that's protein, fiber. These are all things that the body needs. Okay, our nutrition needs to be anchored on that. When we talk about protein, it matters because we naturally lose muscle, and when we are on the GLP, when our calories is reduced, naturally the body's trying to get glucose, and so it will know it very quickly goes into the muscle to burn it for glucose, and so we lose muscle. We want to decrease the acceleration of that, and so that's why we need to eat protein to support our muscle mass. Okay, it also helps to increase satiety, right? So whether you're on GLP or not, when you eat protein, it keeps you full longer. Okay, it reduces hunger. Hunger is the ghrelin hormone. So very important. We want to do protein, fiber. It helps with digestion, like I said. It helps with the gut microbiome. It also helps with constipation, which is one of the side effects, if you recall, of being on the GLP-1. It helps to support our cholesterol and our gut health. So all of this is important that we need to keep an eye on. Okay. Now, when I have my patients, I always make sure that they're eating the right amount of food. Yes, you are going to not want to eat as much, but when you eat, you gotta eat quality food. The foods you're eating matter. Okay, so we want to shift from dieting to intentional filling your body, spoiling your body with proper food. All right. It has to be the quality over quantity. All right. Very, very important. Nutrient dense foods. Nutrient dense foods. Some of the pitfall with that is that because we're not hungry, we're skipping meals, and that's not good. We're not eating enough calories. We're going to lose muscle. So, again, like I said, it is a good weight loss medication, but if you don't use it right, it could hurt you in the long run, right? So you don't want to eat. You want to make sure you're not skipping meals, and when you eat, you want to eat small, not oily foods. Okay, so your fiber will definitely help you. Your protein will help you, and how quick you eat or how slow you eat can also help with your GI tract. Hydration is so important. We don't want to be dehydrated. It can cause fatigue, which might already be happening, and it can even worsen constipation. The electrolytes daily, and we want to look at our urine, make sure it will give us a gauge of whether we are dehydrated or not. All right, nausea, I think I shared a little bit about how you can avoid that. Triggers are carbonated drinks, caffeine, alcohol, large meals. Make sure that you are not just given a prescription and dismissed and told to come back in 6 months. I had a patient that signed up with me, had severe nausea and acid reflux. She was just getting a refill, no check-in to see how she's doing, nothing at all. So we have to be careful, right? We want to do this the healthy way and sustainable way. All right. Now let's talk about muscle. All right. So we talked about nutrition. Let's talk about how to prevent muscle loss. The best way to prevent muscle loss is to make sure that we are eating enough. Yes, calories are going to be reduced, but we want to eat enough protein. Why does it matter? Muscle is medicine, muscle is longevity. It helps to improve our metabolism. It's like a metabolic driver, right? So we need our muscles to be activated, all right? It helps to also balance our hormones, and it protects our long-term health. Who doesn't want long-term health? So if I haven't convinced you enough, I think this is it. This is your sign. Exercise, activate your muscle, know what your hand grip is, know what your leg strength is. All of this is so important. Now, if we want to take it to another level, number 3 is exercise, moving. You build muscle, you improve insulin sensitivity. You see, they say that if there was one pill that you can take that can reverse diseases, it's exercise, right? I know we say so many things, it's that one pill, but really, when it comes to exercise, especially after a meal, insulin sensitivity is improved when we move. So you see, I'm standing right now. I'm standing and I'm doing some high knees. All right, because it helps. It helps to build my metabolism. It helps with blood flow. All right, and it certainly helps to taper off medication. So in my practice, I did this. I did this prescribed. Yeah, that's the word I was trying to say. I deprescribe because patients lose weight successfully in a healthy way, and they don't need as much diabetes medicine or blood pressure medicine. So we monitor. But if your lifestyle is not compatible, then you're going to stay on the medication. You can't say you don't want to be on medication, but yet you're not changing your lifestyle. It goes hand in hand. All right. So as I said, when it comes to muscle, it's the only tissue that lowers your glucose without insulin. All right. So let's talk about long-term success plan. What does that look like? Okay. So I sit with my patients and I tell them, okay, you're a good candidate for this injection. I mean, you are exercising, you are sleeping well, stress management is activated, your nutrition is definitely improving. Let us use this medication to boost additional weight loss. Now, you probably have heard that it's a medication that you need to take lifelong. That's the general consensus. But since I strongly don't believe it's a one size fit all, it's about the patient in front of me. Are you someone that can take it however long you need to take it? And maybe the lessons that you've learned during this period, you can hone on those skills to help you keep it off. Because it's not just about the injection. Anything you do in life, let's say you were exercising and you lost weight, a significant amount of weight, and you just stop moving, you're going to gain the weight back. That's the truth of the matter. So I always sit down with my patients and I figure out, are you a patient that absolutely is going to need this? There's some patients that are absolutely going to need it continuously, but I always want to set the expectation. We don't want faster weight loss. Some people come and say, oh, it's been 1 month, I haven't lost anything. Again, the average is at least 1 to 1.5 pounds a week, which is healthy weight loss. Anything excessive and aggressive can make you even gain it more quickly, make you gain it back quickly. So rapid loss leads to harder maintenance and slower, more sustenance, right? So I want to always lay out clear expectations, and then I want to slowly increase gradually with close monitoring is what I say. So if for any reason you're having problems at a particular dose, then we stay there. We don't have to escalate or increase the usual way they did it in the studies. Okay. And the same thing with weaning down, slowly wean down, gradually wean down. Okay. So that's how that goes. Again, don't do it by yourself. Do it under the supervision of a doctor that knows what they're doing. Now let's talk about mindset. Okay. Mindset is key. Mindset is everything. Yes. You control the mind, you control everything. I want to start by telling you that it's not your fault. Again, like I said, obesity is a chronic disease and it takes over the whole body. It's physiological, it's psychological, it's behavioral, every aspect. So even though, yes, it's not your fault, but it's your responsibility to learn or to seek help. And of course, that's why doctors are being educated, providers are being educated on how best to care for patients with obesity so you do not form a barrier in them getting care. All right. So let's start by saying it's not your fault. The mindset shift begins there when you know it's not your fault, but it is your responsibility to seek care. And it's not a matter of willpower. I always say I don't have willpower when it comes to certain foods. I do have skill power. So what that will look like is keeping it out of the house, because if it's in the house, I can eat as healthy as I want. And if I see it there, my brain wants it. My body wants it. I'm hearing it calling my name, right? So I want you to be aware of that mindset. You have to have a strong mind. And I want you to know that the journey is emotional. It really is emotional. That's why you need a strong support system. Your environment has to be well tailored and controlled. And a lot of people feel defeated, but with good support system, you are able to do this. It's been done before. You can do it. And I want you to know, yes, there is this, real online, and nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to do it. You have to do it yourself. I want you to know that you can get the right support that would encourage you and hold your hand to make sure that you're well supported. Now, what to expect on the medication? Certainly, I already shared what's going to happen. Appetite and behavioral changes are going to occur. You're going to have less interest in food, just absolutely. That's the way the food is designed. GLPs. I take a unicity tea that actually stimulates the GLP naturally, and I just don't feel any hunger at all. So you're going to have less interest in food. You're going to have, if you drink alcohol, I've had patients tell me no interest in alcohol. They just don't care. They don't care for it. So there's going to be a lot of social adjustment that happens, like during the holidays, they've cooked and you're not eating as much, which honestly speaking, we're just in a community that we just learn to eat in excess amount. It should be the norm where we eat and we don't have to eat in surplus amount. Another expectation to lay out is that your energy might be reduced because your calories are reduced, at least the first few days of every dose. They'll be mindful of that, stay hydrated, make sure. I usually tell my patients to take this at night, the injection at night or over the weekend, so you can boost your energy back before the new week. All right. So lots of that is going to be a lot of changes in the body. I've had patients that have lost a lot of weight and, they have the skin and back skin and really trying to tone the skin. So collagen, strength training will definitely help with that. Resistant training, adequate protein. So there's going to be some changes in the skin. We can, in my practice, I always use the InBody to track and monitor my patients, make sure they're not losing muscle, because muscle is medicine, muscle is longevity. So I track. You can use the DEXA scan or the InBody. All right. Part of mindset is I always need to be clear that weight loss is not linear, right? It's not linear. It's going to have ups and downs. It's going to have seasons, highs and valleys. But the point is focus on the trend over time, not on daily changes, okay? Long-term use and weight regain can happen, especially if you're on a medication that's making you gain weight. So you want to talk to your doctor and in a polite way. Is there a way that I can get something that's, in the same class that does not make me gain weight? Those are things to be mindful of. All right, so this is all still under the mindset. I want you to have, just be aware of all these things. Long-term reality. Are you a candidate for this medication long-term? Is your insurance going to cover it? Are you paying out of pocket? Are you developing those skills to keep this lasting benefit? All right, so these are all the things. And then there's other conversations for you, and I'll share what you can ask your doctor. Discontinuation strategy. If you're going to stop, is it abrupt? Why is the reason why you're needing to stop? So there's all of that goes along. But I want you to know that hunger is not the enemy. And that's the part that baffles me the most about this GLP. You just don't eat as much, but we do need to eat. That's the way we were designed to eat. We're just not designed to eat excess and surplus amount, which is what we do. So we want to be aware that it's okay to eat. Even when you forget to eat, please set a timer and eat. Okay, well, don't want you to have the fear of eating. I was trying to remember my son. Yeah, I remember when he lost weight. He had struggled with his weight. A little bit into elementary and middle school, and he got bullied and all of that. And he learned how to eat the proper way, and portion. But there was a time when he was afraid to eat. After he started losing weight, he was afraid to eat. I'm like, please don't be afraid to eat. Just eat the right substandard food, your substandard food, the dense, nutrient dense foods, so that you're not going to gain weight on foods that your body accepts as food. It's the ultra processed foods. It's the low, high calorie foods that make one gain weight. So part of the mindset is hunger is not the enemy. You need to know what those triggers are. I know what my triggers are. If I'm stressed, that's why I need an outlet that can handle stress and food, which I used to fall back on. So know your triggers. And my patients, we have something that talks about their triggers. We talk about their behaviors, right? And how to adapt to different things. Especially some patients say that by the time they get to like the last few days before their next injection, they begin to feel hungry again. So be mindful. What things can you do to occupy your time? All right. And then be mindful of those side effects. I've talked a lot about what you can do to avoid those side effects. Okay. So there's a lot when it comes to to just being successful on these medications. It's a lot to do with the power of the mind, telling yourself, yes, I can accomplish this, I can do this, having the right support system. Again, honing on the nutrition, very important, fiber, fluids, protein. You also want to be mindful of exercise, strength training, all of that, and behavioral. Okay, now, as we wrap up now, I want to share a few things about patient physician relationship. You have to find one that a doctor that is educated and credentialed in obesity medicine that practices it. And you can find information on the OMA, Obesity Medical Association website, where they have doctors that have been trained, that has exceeded the training we got in medical school. Okay, so that's one. Unfortunately, some providers just don't know because they didn't get trained. And so they have this outdated belief that you should still eat less, move more. So you want to find doctors that know that they will care for you adequately, right? So they're not creating shame or blame. And you advocate for yourself where if you're going to seek help concerning your weight, don't just let them throw you at just one medication without telling you what all the other options are, without even telling you about lifestyle. So the question you need to ask is, are you comfortable prescribing weight loss medication? There's nothing wrong with asking that question. I have patients ask me all the time these questions. And then seek shared decision making, meaning that you play a role. You're the one going home with the medication. Is it the right one for you? What are the side effects? Make sure you have all those answers, right? Non-judgmental care. So you want to definitely choose the right primary care, the right specialist, the right telehealth platform, and be very careful that there's no bias, no stigma, and if it lacks support, then that's not a good place for you. Okay. So tons of resources in the OMA, Obesity Medical Association. There's also the obesitycareproviders.com. That's also another good resource. And then Obesity Action Coalition. There's a lot of education and patient support right there. So great stuff. So in closing, it's been a great 5-day series on taking control, navigating through the obesity treatment, and knowing ways to advocate for yourself and for your family. So I want to end by saying that obesity is complex, right? It's biologically driven and it's treatable, but it can be relapsing. So that's why you have to give yourself patience. You have to be in the right environment. So I definitely want you to stay informed, advocate for yourself, seek appropriate and evidence. It has to be evidence-based. Don't just fall for every hokey pokey that you see online. Okay, so we've learned that the brain, the biology, and the behavior all play a role hand in hand. Medications are just a tool. They're not a quick fix, right? So you definitely have to hone on your lifestyle habits. Okay, and health is the reason why we're doing this, the metabolic health. I want you to repeat that after me, metabolic health. Okay, we want to reduce our risk of coronary artery disease, heart, chronic lifestyle related diseases, because as we know it, they say 6 in 10 people will have one chronic diseases, and then 4 in 10 will have 2 or more. So that's what we're seeing, and we want to change the narrative of that. So thank you once again. I really appreciate you joining me in this series. Please don't forget to share this with others that might benefit from this. There's no shame in this. It's not your fault. You're not a failure. And it's not just behavior. It's a combination of everything. All right. If you would like to work with me, I have several opportunities to work with me, either as a patient at the practice, Living at Your Finest Wellness, where I take a deeper dive with my patients. I hold their hands, I support them, I find the right treatment option for you, tailored with lifestyle. So that's one option. There's a second option where I can work with you whether you're within state or not. I offer counseling as a wellness strategist. I have a course it's a 10-week course, and that will kind of guide you through the different things that you need to learn and know, how to read food labels, how to minimize stress, how to incorporate exercise and movement. So that's also another option. And then I certainly have a webinar that I will share more information in the comment about that webinar and kind of help you jumpstart this whole journey that we just talked about. So thanks again. I hope this was meaningful for you. I hope this was useful. Thank you so much for joining me. I want you to know you deserve to live at your finest because you are worth it. Take care. God bless.